get out of this? I know that I'm going to give them a great performance for their audience, maybe bring in a few people, but what can I get out of this? Maybe it is the potential to sell some music. Maybe it's the potential to build your email list. But when you go in there with that plan, you have to have like I said, a structure in place. You have to take some action during that show to either ask for and create incentives for people to sign up on the mailing list, or ask for the sale and create incentives for people to buy, or whatever that thing is. And so go in there, don't just go in there blindly, just kind of rambling through it. Have a plan in place. This is what I want to get out of this, and here's the things I have to do before, during, and after the show to make that happen.
Right. And another thing you need to do is not become a professional volunteer. That's really important.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
Yeah,
Professional volunteer.
A professional volunteer. You don't want to be labeled that. I'll tell you about something that was kind of a slap in the face for me. Was I've done a couple of shows where the people was for different organizations. One was the military, actually, for the military, and one was for a very well known charitable organization. And they basically said, we really would like you to come and perform for us, but it's for this, it's for a good cause and everything. And I said, yeah, no problem. I did it. And then come to find out that in addition to having me for free, they went ahead and hired someone else to be on the bill, and they were paying them top dollar for the same event. And that didn't go over very well. And I think it's strictly because they positioned themselves as we are not professional volunteers.
Yes. Have you heard this thing? There's been this meme or this article this independent artist wrote that's been making the rounds in recent months. And basically she was approached by the people that were organizing a live event that Oprah was doing.
Oh.
Yeah. She's taken this kind of high ticket conference or something to different cities, and they were reaching out to local musicians to perform for free. And this gal said, well, yeah, great. Yeah, I'm about an hour or half hour away, whatever. Do you have anything? And I can't remember if they actually ended up offering her a small amount or just said that they couldn't afford it. And so that got a lot of people riled up.
Well, actually, I'm trying to find it. If you,
make a note and try to link to it in the show notes.
Yeah, because here's the deal. Oprah's doing this tour with like Deepak Chopra and Dr. Oz and all this stuff. And it's change your life or empower your life or something, right? Mm-hmm. And it's this big event, and tickets start at $99 for people that are poor. And then, so the poor people can get in for $99.
Cheap seats, yeah.
The cheap seats. And then the other seats are going for between $500 and $1,000. That's what the seats cost, okay? And she has these speakers. And then what they're doing as they go to each town, they're having local promoters find local musicians, entertainers, and stuff, basically to be outside of the arenas, because there's a big arena tour. Or whatever it is, theaters, arenas. Actually, I think it's arenas. And to perform for the people outside to create an event atmosphere, but they're having them play for free for the exposure. And the question is, you get a call that says, we want you to work for Oprah. And of course you're like, yeah. And then you find out that you're not really working with Oprah. You're outside in the parking lot and you're not getting paid. So, I guess you could take that. The smart marketer would say, I appeared on the, Create Your Life tour with Oprah Winfrey. You're not lying. You did it. But is it really fair? And if she's making them, if you do the math, how much money's being funneled through this tour at each venue, it's kind of insulting, actually.
Yeah, and so there's different sides of the coin, and I'm sure, so there's an example where it's a decision that each artist needs to make. There's another point here I want to make sure that I get in before we run out of time here. But that's so if you are going to play for free, and let me tell you or ask you what you think of this. Let them know, like the venue, whether they approached you or you approached them, and there's a place you really want to play, whatever. Let them know what the value is of your normal gig. Like normally we only play for, like Andrew could possibly do this, even if he's got you can say it honestly, but normally we we charge anywhere from $300 to $500, whatever that amount is. Let them know up front, we're going to make an exception in this case. That way, because I think he said in his voicemail something about getting stuck in this, like you play for a place for free, and then they think you're going to do that every time. But if you make it clear up front that this is something we normally charge for, this is the value of it, place a dollar amount on it, and then so that to try to help deflect they'll always play for free. Let them know you're making an exception. This is not something you're going to do all the time. Have you ever done anything like that?
Absolutely. Yeah. By the way, the lady that wrote this is called Revolva, REVOLVA, Revolva.net, and it's an open letter to Oprah, who's the Life You Want tour asked me to play for free. And it's pretty interesting. And I love, she has, here's the people that are getting paid. Oprah Winfrey, net worth $2.9 billion. Deepak Chopra, net worth $80 million. Elizabeth Gilbert, net worth $25 million. And that says people, not getting paid. Revolia, net worth negative $20K.
That's funny.
It's pretty fun, but it's a good read. And she's very fair too. I mean, it's not just a bitch letter. I think it's pretty cool. You should check it out. But lastly, when to say no though is really important. I guess the best thing is you want to ask a few questions, like when you're going to do a potential free gig, especially for benefits, is will people actually be seeing you? This is important. Like I've done some shows where they just wanted a carnival type atmosphere, and they didn't even tell people I was there the day, and they had me off in the corner where nobody was. They didn't announce it, so I was like standing under a tree playing by myself, which wasn't very productive for anybody. Also, they didn't put like my name in the promo. It wasn't announced on the radio. It wasn't in the newspaper, which was bad for them because me being, Mr. Billy, I am a draw and I could have helped them with the draw. But as, say, Room 24, you don't have a draw. You still want to make sure that you're getting your name out there because to this day, people still say to me, oh, yeah, man, you're really popular. I see your name all over the place, Mm-hmm. And so I think it's important to get free publicity whenever you can. So doing free shows is great to get your name out there. But if they don't, like if it's a big event or, it's like, let's say you're opening up for, I know they love Foo Fighters, maybe they're going to have Room 24 play out in the parking lot for free because that seems to be kind of a trend these days. So great. So it's like, great Foo Fighters coming to town with live entertainment outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, I'm one of the I'm live entertainment outside. Nice.
Exactly. Yeah. So, because what you want to do too is you want to be able to get pictures and scans of these. You want to document, your name to be associated with these bands because that's gold for you, to get future bookings and stuff. So, So again, it all boils back to when do you say no, or if you've done gigs in the past and they didn't treat you right, don't say yes next year.
Yes. Good point. And I guess we are, and I just want to just point this out before we wrap up here that, I guess we're talking about venues that potentially have the ability to pay. And so I know that's a specific topic here, but the bigger question or the bigger umbrella subject matter here is getting exposure through live performance. And so I'm a indie DIY guy, tried and true. And so, don't overlook the possibility of creating your own events, renting a venue or asking, hey, I want to do a showcase there. Can I use your venue and bring in a bunch of people? And, we'll take the cover, you take the bar and the rest, the food, whatever. And so create your own events where you pay yourself. Don't rely. I think there's this, I just don't want to get sucked into I have to rely on somebody else to pay me when I could maybe teaming up with other bands or creating a showcase or whatever, bring in something where I'm responsible for the expenses and also for the profits, So this is another thing to look at.
Right, and then the other thing Andy asked was, when is it time to stop doing that? And again, everything boils down to supply and demand. If you're not working, you don't have a lot of gigs, it's better to be out in public than to not be out in public. You may find it to behoove you to actually do some acoustic shows outside of a sporting event on a corner if it's legal in your area to do such things, and just to be out there and hand out cards and CDs or download cards or whatever, just get your name out there, walk around the park. I mean, I don't know what's legal, so I'm not giving you legal advice, but I mean, I would do it. I'm seriously considering going everywhere absolutely everywhere from now on in 2015 carrying a ukulele with me, because I'm not joking, Bob. I mean, like, I figure I could go into any place and burst into song at any time, and maybe somebody will buy me a hamburger, or want a business card, or I'll make a kid smile, or it's somebody's birthday. Who knows? But, why not? So that's just something I'm doing. So I don't think you should ever quit playing for free if it is of value to you. That's my 27 cents.
Cool. And I made notes throughout here. So if I could summarize, you had said when determining whether to play a free gig, or probably any gig for that matter, you ask, why am I doing it and what am I going to get out of it? Here are just some of the things that we pinpointed throughout this episode. One is to hone your performance skills. That's really important. If you, whether or not you listen to Tom Jackson and all of his advice about creating moments in a honed stage show, that's really important. So the more you play, the more comfortable you get on stage. One is the age-old exposure and creating awareness, getting in front of new people, doing it for a good cause, to raise money for charity, especially one that you're passionate about. It could be for media exposure, if the event or the venue can help you get that kind of exposure. It could be to build your mailing list. It could be to sell music and merchandise at the event. If you may be playing for free, but you can make it up if there's enough people there who buy. And then another thing you kind of touched on, but whether it's a paid or a free gig, take photos of it. And you mentioned document it, but post it on social media just to show that you're an active band. They don't have to know that you played for free. But they see that you're out actively gigging, playing all these different venues. It just helps to build awareness to people who weren't even in the room at the time. So those are just some of the questions to ask and reasons you might do it.
Absolutely. And one other thing, too, since you brought it up, is social media, get every event, get people out there. And if you do a gig for free, there's two things you can do to really get the most bang for your buck. Is if it's a high profile, low profile, whatever, bring as many people as possible so you look really popular, and invite other buyers, other venues, other bands that you might want to be on the bill with, and have them all show up to see you live playing, not in your basement. And also take video of it to use to show, because these days when you book gigs, people want to see your band playing live in front of a crowd. So bring a crowd. Don't expect a crowd to be there, because these are opportunities for promotion. Always bring a crowd, and always invite as many people that can hire you or get your what's the word I'm looking for? Move you forward. Another thing that you really should do too at a free gig, if possible, is invite 2 or 3 or 4 other bands, their lead singers or somebody from their band, to come up and do a song or two with you, and have them invite their friends and their following, and then post those pictures on your site and their site, and use a little bit of piggybacking. And also, when you're inviting venue owners where these other bands play, they'll see that you are friends with them and that you're on their level. They'll take you more seriously. There's something a lot of people don't do.
Wow.
I do this all the time.
$1 million ideas there. It's a virtual waterfall.
That's right. You can send those to my PayPal account, billy@gryzak.org.
That's right. How about $10 per great idea that you use?
So anyway, we're off and running here, and a couple of things before we go. First of all, don't forget we have our Music Marketing Monday Twitter chat today, 3 p.m. So it's hashtag, or as I like to say, # or tic-tac-toe board, MMM chat. 3 p.m. I don't know if Bob or I will be on the chat today. We'll see, because we're actually going to be doing some power recording this morning. I hope I'll be there. I should be. But Bob and I are both going to be out of town. I'm going to be on tour in Wyoming for a few weeks, and Bob is going to be. Where are you going to be?
I'm actually making a 3-week road trip to southern Florida.
So you stay. Why are you going where it's warm and I'm going where it's cold? What's wrong with me?
Because I'm no dummy. It's freezing here in St. Louis.
I don't even own a winter coat. Do you know that? I own a windbreaker, and it's negative 11 today. What's wrong with me? Anyway, so
we're gonna do a marathon session on January 12th. So when you mentioned that, if you're listening today, but that's the day that it's released, you might be listening to it days, weeks, months, from now. So our Twitter chats are every Monday, though, at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Monday at 3 p.m. Right. And today, on whatever date this is, was it the 12th or something like that of January? Yeah. Today, I'll be doing it from Wisconsin, but for a couple of weeks, I'll be running the Twitter chat from Wyoming, which is pretty cool.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Now, here's what we need you guys to do before we run off. For the next, oh no, I guess we can't do this. We're not going to have time for that.
But I think we should mention it anyway, because we always need ongoing questions and suggestions on show topics, and so we should probably give out the SpeakPipe address.
Yes. Okay.